by to start the evening off, and I was only talking to Paul Nicholson a couple of days before today, Abby, about Gerwyn Price, who he tipped to go all the way this week, looking a much happier chappy. In fact, you and Scotty Dog were talking about that before a dart was even thrown in between these two.
Yeah, you could see it on the walk-on straight away. Gerwyn Price, his entire demeanour has changed so much. I actually spoke to him ahead of night one of the Premier League in Belfast, and I was talking to him about how he's seeing a sports psychologist now, and the key for him is being positive about things regardless of what's going on the dartboard and how things are transpiring during a match. It's that positive outlook on things, and I genuinely believe at the back end of last year, you know, I was speaking to him at the Grand Slam, at the World Championship, and something clicked. He was ready to walk away from the sport. He took a little bit of time where, you know, he wasn't in love with the game anymore, and taking a few weeks away from playing, he realised the significance it had in his life. He realised that without darts there was a massive void in his life, and I'm sure that's something we can all relate to. You know, if you don't watch it for a little while, there is something missing. There's that little spark, and he realised, actually, this sport is still very, very dear to me. So I think that was the start of things changing for the Iceman, and we saw signs of it at Ali Pali, didn't we, where the run he went on, the way he was playing, the things he was saying, and I think even his willingness in media interviews to just talk that little bit more. Gerwyn Price is one of those characters where he doesn't want you to know everything about him. He very much likes having his life separate to his darts, which is absolutely fine, but there was that little bit of openness with him, I found, at the World Championship, and we're seeing a little bit more of his personality and his character, and it's really wonderful to see.
You'll see an interview with Gerwyn Price on our YouTube channel, loads of content on there for you to check out. An interview does with Harry Durham, where Harry tells him he's passed a certain number of YouTube views on his channel, which means, as far as Harry Durham, our darts correspondent, was concerned, he's now going to fight Jake Paul. And Gerwyn actually looked quite up for that idea. I wouldn't want to step into a boxing ring with the Iceman, former rugby league player. He's cut like a slab of granite. So it will be Luke Humphries against Gerwyn Price in the first semi-final. Now the next two quarter-finals will set up the second semi-final. A reminder, there's loads of live sport to come across the weekend across the talkSPORT network. You're with talkSPORT 2 tonight. Tomorrow night here on talkSPORT 2, championship action from Turf Moor. Burnley against Sheffield Wednesday. So War of the Roses at Turf Moor. Adam Bridge and Adrian Clark, the former Arsenal midfielder, will be there for that one. At the same time, over on talkSPORT, a Premier League exclusive, Leicester City against Brentford. Joe Shannon and Scott Minto will be at the King Power alongside Hugh Wussencroft. And then game day, packed with football for you, and boxing, and Super League. Everton, Manchester United and Sunderland Hull are your exclusive commentaries at 12:30 on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2 respectively. Ipswich, Tottenham at 3 o'clock on talkSPORT, and then Bavetia, Bivol, and all manner of other brilliant boxing matches besides from 5:30 on talkSPORT 2. But what you can hear behind me and Abby, walking to the stage, Mr. Brightside, which heralds the arrival of the Asp. Nathan Aspinall, who was if the word controversial is right, the most controversial pick for this year's Premier League. It effectively meant that we've got no debutants in this year's tournament. Everybody's got experience of the Premier League with these 8 players. But Nathan, like Stephen Bunting, yet to get off the mark, Abby.
Yeah, yet to get off the mark, but when you think back to last year, of course, it was 3 first-round exits before he eventually got off the mark. I remember speaking to him on night 4, and he was going, yeah, I'm a bit like Europe in the Eurovision Song Contest. Nil what? So, you know, he was still in very high spirits, but, you know, the way he responded after those early exits, he then went on to reach the final in week 4 before then, of course, winning in week 5. So we know, and it's said all the time with Nathan Aspinall now, it is such a cliche, but he really does dig deep. He is such a gritty fighter and competitor, but I really hope 2025 is the year that we see the Asp get back to his blistering best.
Well, we arguably saw Nathan at his best when we first started bringing you darts on the radio, back with the 2017-2018 World Championship, where he got through to the latter stages, having got onto the Pro Tour. Very grounded young man. He came into the commentary box to speak to us and said he was just looking forward to going to spend Christmas with his gran and having a bit of Christmas dinner. And he was totally unaffected by the hullabaloo around him. Here he is, having never finished lower than 5th in the Premier League. Now it's another former world champion. Lots of world champions in this field of 8. And the man who won that first world championship we brought you for darts on the radio, the former electrician who now lives up in Lincolnshire with his practice partner, Scott Williams, Rob Cross, who used to walk out to Hot Hot Hot. Lots of darts players changing their tune, if not figuratively, literally at the moment.
Indeed, yeah, just as Rob Cross signs a few autographs, as is customary now, it would appear, on the way up to the stage, having a few chats as well with the children. But I just want to pick up on something, Dan, that we've mentioned there and you touched on, and that is, you know, Nathan Aspinall. Many have said that he was maybe the most controversial pick, and I'd agree with that, I'd go along with it. But something Nathan Aspinall said to me on the opening weekend of Premier League action, and I just spoke to him off camera and, you know, had a little chat about how tough that was and how, you know, he doesn't need to prove anything. We know he's a multi-major champion. He doesn't need to prove anything, but whether he was looking forward to reminding people. And he got all serious because he said, no, I'm actually really down about it. He said, seeing all these comments, when you are a human being and you are trying to provide for your family, you're trying to do your best, you're trying to overcome an injury, and the setbacks he's had in his career and his life, and he said, I'm just trying to do my best, and some of the things I've had back to me, he said, I'm not really looking forward to it in the way that I should. And I just think it's worth highlighting how significant that is. You know, they entertain us, they are there and they play a significant role in our lives because sport is such a poignant and important escapism for all of us. But for some of them, it is the same. Yes, it's their job, but why should they have to feel any different when they're in this environment? They should be allowed. They're in a privileged position. They're told all the time that they're in this privileged position where they're able to enjoy their job. But then I just thought it was really sad that Nathan Aspinall turned up for the first week and almost felt like he couldn't. And for that reason, I really do hope he goes on and proves the doubters wrong.
Well, as you say, it took him a while to get off the mark last year, but didn't affect him too badly in the end. And he did average over 100 in Players' Championship 3 on Monday, so his most recent form is pretty solid. 100 average here would do rather nicely to take on a man who won Players' Championship 1 in Rob Cross. So both of these men have got 2025 off to just the right start. Sharing a little private joke there with Kurt Bevins, our referee. And we're ready for the off for quarter-final number 3 on talkSPORT 2. Rob Cross wearing his regulation sky blue and navy blue top with a bit of white striping in there. He has the darts, 140 to start. Aspinall in the red and black, part of the Target Darts team. And just a steady 60 for the Asp.
Yeah, it's a target off, isn't it, in this one? But really interesting looking at their head-to-head coming into this match. 10-7 in favour of Nathan Aspinall as Rob Cross with another 140 there in this opening leg. But Nathan Aspinall has won 6 of their 7 meetings in the Premier League. I found that really, really intriguing coming into this one, and boy, would he like to extend that in this contest. But Rob Cross obviously looking to bounce back from what happened last week. He was absolutely irresistible, Dant, in the opening few legs against Luke Littler.
5-1 he led and somehow contrived to lose 6-5. But after 9 darts, he's down to a 2-dart finish of 81. Aspinall coming downstairs for treble 17, but he's nowhere near a finish, so Cross has got all the time in the world to take this out. Will he go for an 11 darter? Well, he went for treble 19 and only hit single. So 62 left. Treble 10 does leave double 16. The wipe of the hand on the trouser. Very much a signature Rob Cross thing, but only a single 16, but he'll be back.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time on his side. He took a little glance over to the scoreboard before making his decision, and he's coming back now for double 8. He won't want to start messing around, though, in this opening leg, even though Nathan Aspinall's still not on a finish. He's on 190. And Rob Cross comes inside on double 4 and then misses outside on double 2. And just as I mentioned, it could get a little bit sticky, this.
Yeah, double 2 required. Aspinall back on 190. Just blinks as though the lights just got in his eyes a little bit too much on the stage. Comes up dry with a trebleless visit. 132 left. Will he get a look at that? Because Cross wants double 2. He's an inch below. Moves across to the left-hand side of the hockey. Oh, he's even further away. He's almost out the board. And then far too far. Much of an adjustment. And Aspinall does have a chance here. But it's a big old finish.
The look on Nathan Aspinall's face. He'll know how gigantic a steal this would be. Bull, double 16, gets the first ball, gets the second, double 16, and is within the width of a wire away from what really would have stung.
That would have been a proper jammy leg of darts for the Asp. But he'll get another chance because Cross went too hard at double 1 and went inside and split it. So now it's double 8 for the Asp to break the throw in the most unlikely of circumstances when Cross was on an 11 darter. Just outside, moves to the right slightly and pins it. It is a break of throw. Almost apologetically retrieves his darts there, Aspinall. A smile between the two players and a bit of disbelief on the Asp, but he's 1-0 up.
Rob Cross will have sick in his own mouth after that one. Missed 8 darts at double to take it. Nathan Aspinall was languishing in the mid-200s.
I had tea in my mouth when you said that. And now Aspinall pops in his first maximum of the night. I better be careful when I take sips of tea when you're around. Anything could happen.
Yeah, my dress is now covered in it.
Yeah. Well, there are it's brown in part of the dress. The tea stains will hide.
Look at this from the Asp.
Yeah, good, consistent scoring in this second leg, having broken the throw. He's down to 2-2-1 after 6 darts. You're listening to talkSPORT 2. Delighted to be bringing you Premier League darts throughout the course of the weeks where we go around the UK and around continental Europe. Every week we'll have the free watch-alongs on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel that we're on right now. And like this week tonight, we are also on talkSPORT 2. Sometimes we'll have Europa League or Europa Conference League or Super League Rugby. But we'll always have the darts on the YouTube channel with our watch-alongs for every week of the Premier League. And of course we'll be at the finals night at the O2 in London in late May. 1-2-1 Aspinall here.
Well, that first leg could prove to be hugely important because Nathan Aspinall, who just looks to set up the 1-2-1 in the end, has taken full control. Rob Cross is coming back at him though. A perfectly timed 180 to pile on the pressure. He's on 54, but Nathan Aspinall 3 in hand at tops to double his advantage. Misses outside with the first and the second, but he's creeping towards the target. But he doesn't get close enough. Misses outside with all 3. So now, can Rob Cross punish some misses?
Double top for Voltage. And he's just underneath. Double trouble so far for the former world champion. Can he pin 2 10s? No! He's inside that as well. So Aspinall's back in for tops to go 2-0 up.
And that last dart at double, Dance, was not a well-thrown dart at double, let me tell you. It was nowhere near. Aspinall just outside, bends the wire with his first attempt at tops, further away with the second, and he's missed the segment entirely with number 3. Really, really messy stuff at the back end of legs.
Yeah, this is not good on the outer ring from either player. Now he's gone inside double five, so 3 for double one. He's in the madhouse. Is Rob Cross again, as he was in the first leg, and he's inside it again. The only thing he's got is Aspinall's only going to get 2 darts at double because he's on 39, Abby.
Well, Aspinall laughing at the moment. Rob Cross just shrugging his shoulders as if to say, I have no idea where my doubling ability has disappeared to. But Nathan Aspinall, double 10 required to end the madness, which he does eventually. And Rob Cross has now 12 darts missed at double across the opening 2 legs, and that is going to burn, because it looked like Dante was going to punish Aspinall for his failures in leg 2. At the moment, Nathan Aspinall is really being allowed to get away with one.
Had a strange old 2024, did Rob Cross. You might remember at the World Championships, the time before last, he was cruising through against Chris Dobey, and it all went wrong for Voltage. Did pick up a World Series title towards the end of last year, and as I mentioned, he won the first Players' Championship event, the floor events that take place away from the crowds, to get his year off to a decent start in terms of his ranking position. But in the outer ring so far tonight, it is not going his way. So 2-0 Aspinall in a race to 6, Abby.
Yeah, Rob Cross, of course, winning a World Series event as well at the start of 2025, but you can see by both players, and you can probably hear by how subdued the crowd are at the moment, that this one, as Nathan Aspinall does treat us to a maximum, well, it's not been spectacular. It's pointless beating around the bush on this one. They're really, really finding it so tough at the moment. Nathan Aspinall, have a look at their finishing stats in this tournament. Of course, there's only 2 weeks played. It's a very small sample size, but Rob Cross finishing far superior over those first 2 weeks. He's up at 42%, Nathan 32%. But that's not painting a picture at all in this one.
No, Nathan had only half as many darts at a double as Cross had in that time. He just wasn't getting to the business end of legs enough, Nathan. But here he is. Well, he's getting to the business end of legs here because Cross is wayward, to say the least. 92 to go 3-0 up. He's hit treble 20, Aspinall. Double 16 just inside. Next door is double 8 at 8 o'clock on the board. He's pinned that. He's broken Cross for a second time. And Aspinall is already halfway to a semi-final here in Dublin.
And that will feel so incredibly good to get it done in one visit. A 92 finish, no faffing around on the outer ring. The scoring is still very difficult. It's just coming in patches for them both, isn't it, the scoring? But the Asp in complete control of this one now. A ton to start this one, a very steady start.
Well, Cross went off like a train against Littler last week and was soon running out of coal. Hasn't fired up yet. Aspinall follows up his steady turn with a 140. 3-0 up. Danter 2-6-1 playing 3-6-1. Less this visit from Cross. Well, that's a great first start. 3 in the red bit. Not quite. Third dart just dips below into small 20.
Yeah, Rob Cross has been more akin to the delayed and cancelled trains that I'm normally waiting for on a Saturday morning in this match. As Nathan Aspinall, another maximum for him, leaves him on 81. This is third of the contest.
Decent response from Cross for a 139, but it might be too little too late. Treble 19 for double 12 is the outshot for Nathan Aspinall. Just settling himself on the oche. Now, here we go. Single 19 hit, 62 left. Treble 10 for double 16. He's looking for treble 12, hit single 12. So bullseye. And he's well outside, hit single 6.
Yeah, nowhere near with that attempt. So Rob Cross to get his first leg, and it would be a break of throw, but he misses the bull segment entirely. Can't find treble 12 either, so now it's another dart at the bull. But the first attempt wasn't really a marker at all, and he doesn't use it, so leaves himself on 31. Aspinall looking to sweep up and take double 16. First dart was at single 12, quite close to the double, but this is more like it from the Asp, a lot more clinical, and he's now 2 legs away from victory. And you have to give full credit to Aspinall, because he was languishing early on in the mid-70s. The game was very, very difficult for both of them, but he's managed to drag that up somewhere near the 90 mark, which, you know, when you've missed 10 darts at double in this contest, that's obviously going to impact your numbers.
Well, getting himself a ton plus average has been quite tough for Aspinall over the course of the past year on television. Only managed it 3 times with a ton plus average, which is nowhere near what he would want. But he's been emboldened by Cross's poor form at doubles tonight to take this 4 legs to nil lead on talkSPORT 2, needing just 2 more to advance to the semi-finals, where he would face the winner of the next match-up, which is Michael van Gerwen against Chris Dobey.
Yeah, Rob Cross plugging away. He's first down to a finish in this one, and it just feels those opening couple of legs really did take the wind out of his sail. But what a way to respond this would be. A 1-2-8. Just wipes the leg again, can't take it now, so just sets himself up perfectly with the Asp way back on 3-3-6. And it will be double 8, but we all know what happened the last time Rob Cross had time in a leg. In the opener of this one, he went on to miss all 8.
Well, Aspinall isn't even halfway towards checking out, and sort of sarcastic celebration from Rob Cross as he pins double 8 and gets himself on the board on throw. 4-1 to Nathan Aspinall as these 2 stablemates battle it out on night 3 in front of 9,000 darts nutcases. A reminder of how little darts people in the Republic Island get to see from the PDC. So they take this opportunity to be at the 3 arena with everything they've got.
Oh, I significantly miss those trips to the City West. Some of the best trips of my life happened there.
Oh yes.
Both business and pleasure.
Well, I've been to Dublin a couple of times, experienced Temple Bar, and I think I was there when there were tunnels that had been built under the city for heavy goods vehicles to use, and they realised that the tunnels weren't deep enough. The time I went there, they had to dig deeper because the HGVs couldn't get into those tunnels. Just weren't wide enough or deep enough. Couldn't believe it, would you? Couldn't script it. Now then, leg 6. Kirk Bevins calling the scores. The countdown king. Aspinall down on 165. That's a bogey number. He can't take that out. But Cross from 325 can only hit a ton.
Yeah, that's why you could see the smile on Aspinall's face there, because he asked Kirk Bevins what he needed. He was looking for the 19s and just strayed into the 7 segment. But looking to tidy this up. He started downstairs, 2 in the treble 19 bed and a single. That's beautiful approach play from Aspinall to leave himself on double 16 when he returns.
Cross trying to pressurise the throw. 83 scored, so he is down to a finish of 142, but Aspinall for 5-1. Just a deep breath as he settles on the oche and pins double 16 with 1 dart. Everything's improving as the match is going on for Nathan Aspinall. He's 1 away from the semi-final, and he's 1 away from getting points on the board for the first time in this Premier League jamboree.
Yeah, so agonisingly close the last 2 years to reaching the playoffs. Finished 5th, losing out on leg difference. Prior to that, of course, had made the final and the semi-final, so he does typically do well in this competition. but he is someone last year, you know, you look at it taking until week 4 for him to get off the mark in terms of points. It wasn't a particularly thrilling performance that he put in to get his first couple of points, but from there he just used it as the perfect building block, and maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what this will be, because it's not been a stunner.
No, we're not hitting 100+ averages in this one, but as the match has gone on, Aspinall looking more and more comfortable. Been dealing with an awful lot in the past 12 months or so, Nathan Aspinall. He's very sensible in what he does. When he knows he's not happy when he's in the act of being about to throw, he just stops himself and just resets. Very, very smart from Nathan Aspinall. People call it dartitis. I'm not quite sure it's the dictionary definition of, Abby, what Nathan has.
I think he has said he's struggled with that, and I think there is an element of that, but I just think there are many elements to Nathan Aspinall's issues. He has mentioned the dreaded D word himself, but yeah, I think there are a few issues.
Well, a lot of those issues would just completely evaporate were he to pick up a 1-4-4 finish here and clean up with a 6-1 win. Crosses on 52 on throw, but Aspinall wants 1-4-4, looking for the treble 20s, only hits a single. 1-2-4 left, 104. It's just a dry visit. 60 scored.
Amazingly there, he toes the hockey, goes to throw and then has to stop, not to readjust or anything, because he went, what do I want? Which I think is absolutely remarkable. But Rob Cross certainly wants double 16 to extend this contest, and that is exactly what he gets.
He almost snatches the darts out the ball with a little bit of irritation, Rob Cross. He's probably thinking, where was that 5 legs ago? Aspinall right in the red bit at the start of leg 8. Just needing one more to advance to the semi-final. And a 140 gets him going. Night 3 of the Premier League. Luke Littler, if you're just tuning in, knocked out by Gerwyn Price in the second quarter final, and he looked a little upset as he exited stage left. Luke Littler slamming his darts case down as he walked down the stairs, but he'll be back. He won night 2. Luke Humphries, who was successful on night 1, also through, beating Stephen Bunting by 6 legs to 4.
Yeah, absolutely stunning stuff from Gerwyn Price to dispatch of the nuke in our last match, but still to come in the quarterfinals. So I've got Luke Humphries taking on Gerwyn Price, and then the winner of this will take on the winner of Michael van Gerwen against Chris Dobey. What a belter that one could end up being. You're going to want to stay tuned for that, because we've got the in-form floor player of like the last 12 months or so taking on mighty Michael van Gerwen, who has produced some spellbinding stuff over the first couple of weeks.
Not least when he dispatched Littler in week 1. And that was Littler with an average of 113 in losing. Aspinall wants 204 to win by 6 legs to 2, and he's looking for a max. 140 will do, but it sets him up for a 2-dart kill. Cross back on 202. Looking at the 18s, but only hits single 19 as he comes downstairs, and another single 19. That could be that for voltage.
Nathan will feel he's got 6 from 64 with Cross back on 146. He's just double checking the dart he wanted in the 16 segment, but it's strayed into the 8, so it's 16 now for Tops to get his first couple of points on the board. That was closer to the treble than he'd have liked, but it is a single. So 1 dart at Tops for Nathan Aspinall, and it's high of the target.
So he has to wait his turn to see what Rob Cross can do from 146. Treble 19. Gets it. Another one would lead double 16. Just steps back for a moment. Pins the other treble 19. What a finish this would be. Double 16 on the wire. And maybe that's that for Cross now. Had Aspinall worried, I'm sure.
Too many missed darts at double. The problem for Rob Cross in this match. 1 high from Nathan Aspinall on Tops. He's getting further away with the second, and he misses with the third as well. He's almost on his knees double checking how they didn't enter the right segment.
So double 16 for Cross. He's got a reprieve and he's taken advantage of it. Almost looks apologetic. So he's broken back, but he needs another break because he's been broken twice in this encounter, Cross. But it's 5-3 now on talkSPORT 2 in this Dublin quarter-final at the 3 Arena. Nathan Aspinall just needing one more leg, and he looked very short price favourite to do that in the last leg, but not so. Steady turn to start leg 9.
Well, Rob Cross looking to do to Nathan Aspinall what Luke Littler did to Rob Cross last week, because Rob Cross, as he piles in a max, was 5-1 up against Luke Littler, lost that one 6-5. He was 5-1 down to Nathan Aspinall in this one. It's now 5-3. This one, I think, could be turning.
Sense it, don't you? Aspinall's demeanour is just changing a little up there on the stage. Meanwhile, Cross pops in a 1-2-3 to leave himself on a 102 outshot. Aspinall back on 3-4-3 less these. And the smile has gone. And it's more of a scowl from the Asp, as Cross has the potential. 102 single 18. Hits treble 16. He's going to go for double 18, even though Aspinall's back on 258. And he's a bit short with that approach. And he'll be back for double 9 in a moment.
Yeah, even though Aspinall's not on a finish, could he regret that? Because he's now got double 9. You've come inside there, and it could get a little bit messy for Rob Cross. He's going to want to take care of this. He decides instead to split it for double 4. He's just outside with his first attempt. Not overly happy, and he comes inside with the second.
Just talking to himself as he took that pause between darts 2 and 3. Now Aspinall wants the big fish to win it. We've seen 170 check out from Littler. He's one way. The second dart just dips. Actually deflects off dart 1, which was perfectly placed. So 65 left. Cross back in for 2 twos.
But now it's up to the madhouse for Rob Cross. And he comes inside.
Again, that's the third time he's done that in this quarter-final.
That could be curtains for Rob Cross, once and for all, as Nathan Aspinall.
He wants tops for the match. And with his 5th match start, Nathan Aspinall finally gets Premier League points on the board. It was starting to look shaky for him as Rob Cross was mounting the sort of comeback that he saw Littler make against him last week. But in the end, Abigail Davies, Aspinall prevails, and he goes through by 6 legs to 3 to the semi-finals.
Yeah, quite incredible. When you look back at the stats from that match, the one that stands out is Rob Cross. 3 from 22 on the outer ring, below 14%. You're not going to win anything in the PDC with finishing stats like that. Nathan Aspinall, a much more respectable 30%. As you mentioned, he got better as that contest went on. And that's what a mouth-watering contest we've still got to come in the quarters.
You're dead right, Abby, because next up on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, we'll bring you the last quarter-final to see who'll face Nathan Aspinall next up. It'll be either Mighty Mike, the Green Machine, Michael van Gerwen, or the most recent winner of a Players' Championship tournament in Hollywood, Chris Dobey. Scott Mitchell will join me for that match next up here on your home of darts on the radio, talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. It's Premier League Darts from Dublin in week 3. Well, when it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. So, among the fastest VPNs available on the market, NordVPN gives you a quick location change when you need it most. Just go to nordvpn.com/dartsvpn and you get 2 years plus 4 months free and a birthday deal into the bargain. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Look out for our stream on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel of Van Gerwen against Dobey that's up next. Exactly 2 minutes. Let's see.